What it do? What it do? What it do? This is Rockets Recap, episode 6. It's your boy Chris Harris back at it once again, recapping the most recent Rockets win versus the Denver Nuggets. First and foremost, some housekeeping. I was not able to get on and do a recap last for the last game, the win versus the Grizzlies, simply because I had other obligations that I had to attend to. So, my apologies. Would not have missed it otherwise. I missed most of the game, and I feel like I'd be cheating y'all if I did a recap without watching the full game. Still even haven't had an opportunity to even watch the recap yet. I haven't recorded, still haven't gotten to it. So that's why I missed it. I know there's some haters out there that probably think that I did that specifically because Jalen went off. Not the case. I'm glad that Jalen went off. But yeah, so just wanted to kind of get that out the way. We're gonna do it like we always do it around this time. Get into the box score from this win versus the Nuggets. So we had Amen Thompson, 35 minutes, 4 8 from the field, 11 points. Dylan Brooks, 26 minutes, 2 of 5 from the field, 6 points. Alperen Şengün, 26 minutes, 9 of 21 from the field. Um, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 20 points. Fred Van Vliet, 35 minutes, 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. Excuse me. 8 assists, 16 good points. Jalen Green, 30 minutes, 10 of 16 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 assists, 34 points. Jeff Green, 21 minutes, 8 points. Cam Whitmore, 24 minutes, 16 points. Jason Tate, 18 minutes, 6 points. He was one of the few players with a minus 6. Steven Adams, 7 minutes, 2 points. So, sorry. We had the Aaron Holiday, Nate Williams, and Reed Shepard all got time, but they were pretty inconsequential. Nate Williams had 9 points, but they were all in garbage time. So with that said, wanted to touch on just my thoughts on the team, where we are, where we're going, et cetera, and so forth. Um, so Shingun, I thought Shingun. Well, let's go. Let's talk about the couple of notable players. Touch on Amen. Another good game. Wasn't his best game. I think teams are starting to slow him down a little bit. Not sure, what exactly they're employing on him. If it's just more tension, or if they're hugging him a little bit more. But he hasn't quite been as impactful, at least from a box score standpoint, as he has been previously. He still runs in transition, excellent from the dunker spot, excellent hands that block. I don't even remember who was on, but they just came out of nowhere from behind as a trailer, and the moment the guy got the ball up in the air, that was blocked out of bounds. The kid's leaping ability, his athleticism, just remarkable. Cannot say enough. Again, even if he's not impacting the box score, he's impacting the game. Um, Again, if you want Jalen to keep performing, you have to keep Amen in the starting lineup. Um, I know there's been some discussion on what's going to happen when Jabari gets healthy. I want to chime in on that real briefly. I don't think you can move Amen out of the starting lineup, and I don't think you. I don't think. I think Dylan and Fred, at least in Ime's mind, are too important to the culture and to kind of keeping the kids settled and on script and et cetera and so for them et cetera and so forth, for them to be taken out of the starting lineup. So I think unfortunately, Jabari is going to continue. Who's going to start coming off the bench, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing from like a macro standpoint. I think that he is a really solid player. Has had excellent moments for us, except all that stuff. But quite frankly, we have a couple options. Even when Tari is healthy, he's even a better option than Barry for as a starter, in my opinion. Good player. I think he'll definitely help shore up the reserve minutes for the five, maybe even the four spot, depending on how you look at the rotation. Um, but like I said, I don't see him. Amen is too important. Too important. He's too impactful to winning, in my opinion. And I think just as equally important, I think Jalen feeds off that energy. I think the reason that Jalen has kind of gotten going and stayed going is that he doesn't always have to attack in the half court set. And Jalen in the half court set is not as efficient, not as willing to go downhill into a more congested lane. I think that's where the Jalen and Shingun don't fit together narrative kind of started, is because Jalen is reluctant to kind of get going downfield when um, are attacking downhill when Shingun is has a defender in the paint. But again, you can alleviate that problem just by running, and that's kind of what's happened. So I think that Amen is good for the team in large, and he may said as much today on 790. But I think he's good for the team at large as far from a winning standpoint. Um, and he's also good for Jalen specifically. I think that all this eruption, all this positivity from Jalen, really is a credit to a man, and the pressure that he puts on the ball, on the opposing defense is really the his willingness to run, his willingness to kind of get up and down the court. The fact that he's not really a scorer himself, so he's looking for someone else to kind of finish. All those things kind of have really helped Jalen kind of come into his own, if you will. Shingun didn't start it, was forcing the ball a lot. I've said it multiple times. I think he's fatigued. Like when you start blowing layups, a lot of times it's just fatigue, both mental and physical. It may be an extended issue until the All Star break, which I don't. If the team continues to play like this, it's not the hugest problem in the world. It's just frustrating to watch. He did come alive a little bit more in the third quarter. I thought a little hit more fadeaways, more those little push shots, and that's fine with me. Again, the name of the long term name of the game is for him to kind of be a little bit more well rounded. To not you're not going to be able to juke everybody out. Like the footwork and getting to get to those layups is going to be available. Often, but not every big man, especially in the 7 game series, is going to fall for the up and unders and the scoop shots and all that stuff. So I'm glad that he's getting a little range to his game, and learning how to finish over the top of athletes and bigs like DeAndre, long armed athletes like DeAndre Jordan, and Edie and all those cats. The cats he's played against recently, they were always going to give him trouble. I think personally, but it's good for him to start learning different ways to attack. So when it all does start coming together, it'll if he needs to hit that fadeaway Dirk shot, he has it. If he needs to hit the push shot, he has it. If he juke the defender out of his socks and get under him and get that little scoop shot, he has it. So eliminating kind of the buddies eliminates the biggest crutch, not crutch, but eliminates kind of his go to. So hopefully it makes him ultimately when he forms Voltron, when he becomes the ultimate version of himself, he'll be able to attack using all that stuff with equal effectiveness. So it doesn't bother me so much. I see people chiming in and getting frustrated and stuff. Um, like I said, it doesn't necessarily bother me that much from a big picture perspective. In the long term, LP is going to be fine. Going to be an all star quality big, a great pairing with Amen, a great pairing with Jalen, Cam. All the players that I feel like are going to be impactful and hopefully long term fixtures on the team. So no big deal. Cam Whitmore, another excellent game, another efficient game from the field, doing everything that I think that the team really wanted him to do, or the coaching staff really wanted him to do, to get consistent minutes. He has seemingly bought into the team concept, has been more celebratory lately. So all that good stuff is great. Excited to see him continue to grow. The defensive growth has been impressive. No issues for me when it comes to Cam. The man of the hour, Jalen Green. Um, Big kudos to him. I've been hard on him. I will be the first to admit that and quite frankly, I believe he would probably admit it too. If he's being honest, that he um, during the lion's share of his time in the league, he has not performed up to par. He has been one of the worst starters, consistent starters in the league, and that's not opinion. That's fact. That you can look it up for the until this recent stretch of the last couple of weeks. You could it's debate. It's debatable whether it was wise to even keep him as a starter, or even on the team. I know we chopped him last year. Um, at the trade deadline, but it's the when sometimes when it clicks, it just clicks. Sometimes when when a young player when it finally kind of all comes together, it's a beautiful thing. To see it kind of happen. It happened with it's happened with stars in the past, Kobe, Ant. A lot of times you see players kind of mature from those first couple of years into something greater. Normally around the third year. Sometimes some at some point during that year. And quite frankly, Jalen is a little bit of a late bloomer. But if this is him blooming, it's a sight to behold. I've always been a little bit critical of his shot, his mechanics. He's been better about getting a solid base on his shot, and that's helped out a ton. He's coming off the screens and is not drifting so much. He's planting and shooting. Cannot say I will shout it from the mountaintops. That helps out such a great deal. He after he gets going, he does a little. He's freer, I think, to take a little bit more off balance, more athletic type shots, and I think that's fine, and I think he's hitting that at a high enough clip for it to be a decent shot. But I think to get going, he needs to, kind of slow his process down, full stop, shoot the J, and he's doing that, doing it well. He's attacking, and even though I still think he's not the greatest finisher in traffic, if he's able to blow by his man, hey, he doesn't. He's not finishing. A lot of times he doesn't end up finishing in traffic. Doesn't have to. He just finishes. And he's going up stronger now. He's dunking more frequently than those little dipsy doodle layups. He's finishing. Um, his finishing ability is improved, but I still want him to see him continue to get stronger and more able to when the defense is in position to kind of brush off the contact, being on the floor or in the air and still finish through that contact. Not Jalen Green. James Harden became a savant at that, and I would like to see Jalen kind of continue to grow as well. Somebody on the timeline said that this is the closest thing to the Unguardable Tour since the Unguardable Tour from James Harden, and I have to agree. Jalen right now is must see TV. Um, he's just balling out of control. I think a depleted Nuggets team is going to lose to us anyway. Even with kind of the wonkiness of of some of the contributions from some of our mainstays. Dylan didn't have the greatest game. Shagun didn't have an efficient game. Um, who else? Amen didn't have, I think he put up 14, 13, 14, something in that range. It wasn't, he didn't put up big numbers, and we still easily handled this version of the Nuggets. And that's really a testament, like again, we didn't have need hero Jalen to beat him, but it's good to see him stringing more and more good games together. And the more that he's able to do it, the higher his confidence goes, the more he's going to be able to continue to do it. So I'm very, very thrilled with him and his development, his growth, and I hope it continues. I think a good thought exercise, I guess, is if Tari comes back and is as impactful as he has been in the past. If when Jabari comes back healthy, what is this team ceiling? Quite frankly, just as is, without any major trades, without any nothing. Um, what does what does Houston look like in 2 years? Um, I don't think we as a I know there's a lot of talk about how the playoffs will look and this year and all that stuff, but I'm starting to kind of get curious on what the long term prognosis is. If Jalen's the A1 super is a 1A superstar, 1B superstar, whatever, Şengün's your 1A, 1B, whatever. Cam is your six man, or kind of like your Jalen Brown type of guy, with Jalen being your Jason Tatum. Like, you have a collection of talent that's really unique in the league, and I'm a little more intrigued by holding on to that now than I was in the past. And I posted on the timeline before that my uh, you can take my name out of the Aaron Fox hat as far as a trade, somebody that should look to trade for. But I am curious as to what Stone is thinking right now as far as development and putting how the team what we need going forward from a team building standpoint, because we have a decent pick coming up in this draft if standings currently hold. We still have a ton of expiring contracts to use now or later, before the deadline. So I'm really curious to see what we do coming up. So with that, that's really all I got for tonight. Didn't want to keep it too long. Do want to say again, subscribe. I made a new channel specifically dedicated to my Rockets content. So again, feel free to subscribe. Please actually subscribe. Once we get to 10 subscriptions, there'll be a giveaway. A little Amazon gift card, just as a token of my appreciation as we continue to grow. That gift card's value will continue to increase. Um, I may be in the house for Monday's game versus the Pistons. I haven't decided yet, and if so, if you're gonna be there, holla at your boy. Maybe we can link and talk Rockets basketball. Anyway, this is Chris, aka CDH the Great, signing out.